What do we got here?
Well, I got a photograph of Orson Welles that I believe is signed by him that you may be interested in.
That is pretty damn cool. And it's from Citizen Kane. It couldn't be a better picture, too, because you have a picture of Orson Welles, and behind Orson Welles is a picture of Orson Welles.
My grandfather passed away. He was a movie buff, and I was going through some of my grandfather's photos and found this photo that was signed by Orson Welles. There's no sentimental value to me. I'm not a big movie buff like my grandfather was.
This is pretty amazing. Have you ever seen the movie?
I have not.
The whole movie was based on William Randolph Hearst, and William Randolph Hearst did not like the movie. It portrayed him as a very bad guy, and it was all about this guy named Kane and his giant house on the hill called Xanadu, and William Randolph Hearst had a giant house called Hearst Castle. Some people still consider it the greatest movie ever made.
I have to go watch it now.
Yeah.
Everything Orson Welles did, Citizen Kane was different and innovative. The way he used cameras, the way he used light, the way the script was written, the way the scenes transitioned from one another. It really was an innovative movie.
This autograph, it sort of looks like gobbledygook. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of hard to make out the whole Orson Welles out of that. Did you have an idea what you wanted for it?
I was thinking, this 5,000.
I mean, if it's real, it's really cool. I mean, because I can't think of something better to have Orson Welles' signature on than basically this photo right here. I think it adds a lot of value because it's signed on this picture as opposed to signed on one of his normal publicity photos or something like that.
Good.
Let me get my buddy down here. He'll take a look at it, and if it is real, we'll talk.
Sounds good. I don't know much about the photo, so I think an expert's great.
Citizen Kane. It's ranked as one of the greatest movies of all time, and I think pretty much everybody knows who Orson Welles is. The guy was a legend. You know, kind of this big, larger-than-life figure. Had this deep baritone voice. We're talking 1941, and he was coming off War of the Worlds, which was a few years before that. And the guy was only, what, 26 years old when he did this film? He had full control, too. And he actually came across as pretty cool.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously why I called you down here is that signature legit?
It's rare to see anything kind of from a movie sign. Usually it's, you know, especially from this period. Usually the stuff is, you know, like a pose shot or a promo shot they would send out. It's rare that you'd see something from a film. So I'm kind of highly skeptical about this one. I do want to look at the ink and just kind of get a feel for what he signed this in. And kind of right away you could see here, this is, you know, basically like a liquid type ink. So it's not a fountain pen. Kind of see how it's kind of bled off through here. So we do have a live pen here. The next thing, pretty familiar with this guy's signature, and he was just very sloppy. And the thing I kind of look for is a rush signature from him. Sometimes connected all the way, sometimes he didn't. And here's a great example. Rush signature, you could see here, where he starts off here and he's just kind of flying through this whole thing.
Okay, so is it real?
Well, based on everything I've seen here, no question, signature's perfect to me. Absolutely looks great on the photo.
So what's it worth, you think?
Well, what I haven't seen is something from Citizen Kane. Based on that, perfect signature, no personalizations, which definitely helps the piece, I could see this easily being worth $2,600, $2,700.
I mean, that's good. That's a fair price. I didn't know what it was worth to start with.
Right.
I didn't even know if that was his signature.
Well, thanks, man.
Thank you, appreciate it. One thing I could say about Citizen Kane, still very popular. Still studied in film school. I mean, people really know this movie. And I think that image, it's so iconic. I think that piece would fly right off the shelves.
So with all that said, what's your best price on this thing?
You know, with the picture being really good and clear and the way the signature flows, can you go 2,200?
Nope. Go 1,200. I mean, I got a business. I mean, I got to frame this thing, everything else. It's really cool, but I got to sell it.
1,800?
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 1,500 bucks, not a penny more.
That's fair, 1,500.
All right, cool, man. We'll go do some paperwork, and maybe you can take a trip to Xanadu or something. I don't know.
Mr. Brown and I got along famously.
I tittled through a pass. I caught the ball myself.
It's got a name engraved on it.
How did you end up with this?
Sounds so fun.